Loading error installation Rafa. Gaza Strip. The evacuation warning came shortly after the Israeli army. Nasser Abu Quta's house in Southern Gaza Strip of the Southern Gaza Strip. This, which let people evacuate before airstrikes. Precautionary. 57-year-old Abu Quta thought that he and his wide family would be safe from the house warned on the awaited strike. However, Abu Quta's neighbor was never shot. At a moment, he said that he was tear out of own house by wiping 19 members of his family, including wife and cousins. The air attack also killed the chaot of buildings and passages in the refugee camp full of jam. The airstrike Rafah, a southern town on Egyptian border, came to Israeli forces. Hamas militants who killed more than 700 people in Israel on Sunday night after a large, very preliminary attack. Gaza Strip. Israel took hostage and fired thousands of rockets to Israeli population centers. But most countries have been seized by Iron Dome defense system. Fire smoke rise after an Israeli airstrike in Gaza Sunday. October 8, 2023. The militant Hamas executives Gaza Strip carried out an attack Israel Saturday. A very leading attack Saturday and threw thousands of rockets at the Hamasas warriors. Leaked in a few places to intensely reinforced border. Killed hundreds people took prisoner. He reported death scores from his attacks via Associated Press. Health officials reported that the waves of airstrikes have killed more than 400 Palestinians, including dozens of women and children. The Israeli army said he had hit various Hamas offices and command centers in multi-story buildings late on Saturday. However, Abu Quta does not understand why Israel was hitting his house. There was no militant in his house. He insisted and his family was not warned. This is a safe house with children and women, he said still. While shock Abu Quta remembers the tragedy in detail pieces. Dusting the house drowned. There were cloths, he said. The army says that he has made sensitive strikes for militant commanders or operational areas and does not target civilians. In addition, militants their rivals, Israel and Egypt, pointing to the application of placement in the poor coastal settlement 2.3 million people under a violent soil, air and sea blockade. On October 9, 2023, Rafa rises after the Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. Anadolu Agency through however, human rights groups said that the deadly attack model of Israel against housing houses was ignored for the lives of Palestinian civilians and that they could be in accordance with war crimes. In past wars and the struggle tours between Israel and Hamas militants, individual Israeli airstrikes killed large number of civilians. For example, 22 members of same family in a single strike. Bloody 2021 war. Abu Quta wounded children and grandchildren, including 24 of other relatives who survived graves to rush the grief was held by market, while managed to define the bodies of 14 FA.